Lindsay and Krista begin by unpacking the cosmic milestone of your Saturn return, that late 20s reckoning many experience. They describe that period around age 29 or 30 when everything starts to shift, your priorities, relationships, health, and career quietly begin to ask for more clarity. Their tone is intimate, like a late-night heart-to-heart, weaving neuroscience and astrology to show how the brain and the cosmos work in tandem to usher you into adulthood. Early chapters recount the author's own turbulence, the low hum of anxiety, the quiet ache of imposter syndrome, and that strange, silent panic that creeps in while you're sitting alone in your Chicago apartment or LA rental. Krista recalls nights lying in bed with a swirl of questions spinning in her mind. What am I doing? Why am I here? That haunting sensation of being stuck became the very thing that called her forward into transformation. They refuse to label their pain as failure. Instead, they reframe anxiety as excitement without breath, a sign not to run but to pause, breathe, and look closer. Their turning points come when the internal chaos is no longer something to fix, but something to listen to. As they dive into identity and individuation, Lindsay and Krista reflect on moments when they began to strip away outside expectations. What remained was something tender and real, a desire to understand who they were beyond their resumes or achievements. These moments of self-inquiry are portrayed not as breakdowns, but as breakthroughs, proof that honesty is a form of strength. Their stories are layered with insights from spiritual and mental health guides, Jay Shetty, Gabrielle Bernstein, Glennon Doyle, Nicole LaPera, each voice reinforcing the idea that growth comes from alignment, not perfection. The result is more than memoir. It becomes a living handbook, born from their experiences and amplified by the wisdom of others. The authors offer rituals and self-care practices, journaling prompts, meditations, and micro-routines, but always with care. They don't present a rigid checklist. Instead, they invite the reader to create rituals that resonate personally, to tune inward rather than outward. A warm, sisterly vibe pulses through their writing. They speak to you like someone who's been in the thick of it too, someone who knows the ache of uncertainty and the sweetness of finding your way again. For long-time listeners of the Almost 30 podcast, the tone will feel familiar, like pulling up a chair to an old friend's kitchen table. Clarity, they explain, doesn't always strike like lightning. Sometimes it's a conversation that lingers, a new idea that won't let go, or a community that mirrors you back to yourself. The late 20s, they argue, aren't for figuring it all out, they're for feeling it all deeply and finding your footing through that emotional truth. Community is a lifeline throughout the book. They reflect on retreats, live events, and circles of listeners who have created sacred spaces out of shared doubt and courage. Whether it's career confusion, a breakup, or a shift in self-image, these collective moments of truth-telling become medicine. The heart of their message is this: choosing yourself is not selfish. Whether that means leaving a job, moving cities, healing old family patterns, or embracing new motherhood, it's all part of listening to your deeper call. Every pivot is a path, not a deviation. What might feel like a crisis is, in their words, an initiation. The discomfort, the yearning, the desire to pause, it's all sacred cargo, an invitation to align more deeply with who you truly are. Spirituality is present throughout, but not in a heavy-handed way. Astrology, intention setting, and ritual appear as tools, not rules. It's less about believing in the stars and more about believing in your ability to slow down, to sense, and to respond with intention. As the narrative draws to a close, they return to the core idea of Saturn return, not just as an astrological event, but as a rite of passage. You don't just get older, you get clearer. You shed what isn't yours and remember what is. Their final words aren't a battle cry but a blessing. Consider us your cosmic big sisters, they say, an invitation to trust yourself as you navigate the chaos and clarity of becoming. In the end, Almost 30 reads like a shared journal, part guide, part confession, part love letter to the version of you that's still becoming. It doesn't demand change. It simply offers companionship while you grow into who you're meant to be. Through emotional honesty, spiritual grounding, and community-based reflection, Lindsay and Krista craft a book that doesn't tell you what to do, it reminds you that you already know. All that's left is to listen, feel, and walk forward, gently, into the next chapter of you.